snap!
You're listening to Oh Snap.
Hello guys, it's Jazz and welcome back to another episode of Oh Snap. Today's episode looks a little bit different, as you can probably tell, because it's very exciting, but we're in LA. Now, we have got a very special guest. He's a dancer, singer, actor, and also a Camp Rock 2 legend. So please welcome Mdot. How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm excited to have you on the
I'm
show.
excited to be here.
This show is all about nostalgia. And of course, we have to talk about your time on Camp Rock 2.
Yes.
Because he's an icon for Camp Rock 2. Now, if you guys need a bit of a memory refresher and you aren't as familiar with the movie, can you give us the fire for a second?
Oh, for sure.
You will
goes
remember
like
after
this.
Here we go. Warm up the vocal cords.
Oh, you don't remember me? I'm Luke Williams. I was on stage like 2 minutes ago. I'm giving you the fire. Oh, no.
Period. Guys, oh my, I was thinking about this as well because I'm like, was that really you singing that run? Because that was insane. That was absolutely you after hearing
What's
just now.
crazy about that whole thing, that's the first line and the line that's lasted with me. But when I went into the trailer to audition, it was a trailer
Right.
in the middle of the ABC lot.
Okay.
This was before it was even in a building.
Okay.
They were just kind of like, I don't even want to tell you what the movie was called, but it wasn't called, obviously the working title was something different than Camp Rock.
Right.
So I get this script and, get the lines and it's like the line with me and Demi. So I go in, I'm reading with the casting director.
Okay.
And those are the lines. I'm Luke Williams. I was on stage 2 minutes ago.
Oh, it was
And,
exactly
and then
those
it just
lines.
says, I'm giving you the fire.
Yep.
And then she's like, great. So that was it. So when I went in, the first time I read it, I did it just like that. I was
You
like,
did it.
yo, I'm Luke. I'm giving you fire. And the dude started laughing. He was like, do it again. And I
Stop
was
it.
like, okay. And then that time I ran a little bit more. And yeah.
Okay.
I think that's one of the reasons that they were really interested.
So they gave it to you as a line just to read as part of the script rather than
sure.
as a run.
Oh, absolutely. No, that was just a line. In the movie.
Okay.
Yeah. It was completely just freestyle
That's so cool.
by me. And then they just let me do it and have fun with it. And
I love that. And did you already know the song at that point or had you only seen the script?
no, the song wasn't even in the works yet.
Oh,
Or the song
wow.
wasn't created as far as me singing it yet.
That is amazing. Okay, now wait, how old were you when the movie was shot? Because I feel like it was 15 years ago, which is insane.
I'm in my 30s now, so I was 20. I had to be 20, 21.
21, you were a baby.
Yeah, I was one of the older cast members, but yeah.
Really? Okay, that's true. I think looking back, as a kid, I always felt like everyone was so much older than me. But looking now, I'm like, everyone on the show or everyone on the movie was a baby. Like,
Yeah, I mean, we're all kind of the same age, but I'm definitely much older than you think.
he's young, got that young face.
I do.
You do. And I feel like Demi, was probably 17. Like
She
there
was
were a lot
very young.
of teenagers in that film as well.
For sure.
which is
Megan was like 15 when she did Camp Rock 1, so
Let's take it back to when you first auditioned for Camp Rock. I just want to know like the whole process because
Yeah.
as someone outside of it completely and not in that industry and in the acting world, I would love to know like how that looks and how long that process takes and everything like that. So let's go back to how this all started. Did you first like find out from an agent or did someone kind of come to you and scout you out for this movie? How did that all work?
my memory is
It's been a
just
while.
not the same, but
That's fair.
I have a problem remembering whether I was introduced to the music side first, because I do remember having a meeting with the heads over at the music department, Hollywood Records, and playing them my music. And just, they didn't use any of that music, but
Okay.
they were like, okay, we'll see if we have some projects on the pipeline.
Yep.
And then I don't know if the audition came later or if it was an audition or 2 or 3.
Yep.
And then they took me in to meet with the music people. And then another 5, because it was 10 auditions, literally like 8 to 10 auditions. The
Okay.
first 2 or 3 acting, trailer, small rooms.
Yep.
The next 2 or 3, more people in the room,
Yep.
more lines. The
Damn.
next 2 or 3 dance auditions. And then on that process, I remember seeing like the storyboard, and it was a white guy, but he did have the leather and the hat. They kind of had the vision.
Okay.
But it was this white guy, so it wasn't me. And I also remember hearing one of the other songs, like Walking in My Shoes or something like that. And
Okay.
I didn't really love it.
Yep.
I also remember watching Camp Rock 1 and being like, I'm not doing this movie. 'Cause
Really?
This is so corny. And having like a
interesting.
whole conversation with my agent manager, like, I gotta keep my braids, I gotta wear earrings, I
love that.
you know, the hat was already there, but I
Yep.
tried to show my cornrows as much as possible. They edited
That's
that
great.
shit out. But yeah, that was like the audition process. And then, dancing with Rosero McCoy.
Yep.
I got to meet him early on, and he kind of was giving me signs like, yo, you're close. But he was also working. Diego Boneta was another lead that me, him, and I forget the third actor, well-known actor. So it was, Diego's been in a bunch of stuff as well. Mm-hmm. And they were looking at the three of us at the end of the day. And we were doing a lot of auditions, a lot of dance auditions, acting auditions, bringing in other people, chemistry reads. And yeah, I got the call. I was valeting a car in Hollywood, and I got out the car and I just
Oh, he said, see
I
ya.
left the whole thing.
Oh my
I left the
God.
job. I don't know where. I was a Porsche. I don't know where that Porsche is now.
Who
But I
knows?
left.
No one will ever know.
I was done. I was
Wow.
like, look, I got the job. I'm done.
That's amazing. How long was the filming process?
So we filmed it in Toronto.
Okay.
And it's interesting. I was talking to some old castmates, and people still go to our old places where we shot the film in Canada.
I bet.
Even prior to it being a thing, like when YouTube was just a thing, no
Yep.
Instagram, people would go there and reenact the scenes and stuff at
Really?
the camps and things. But yeah, we shot in Toronto. Interesting because I think it was like a 6-month process, and then we went on tour right after. So when the movie premiered, we were on the bus. It was like me, Demi,
Okay.
Allison, Anna Maria, maybe Jordan was there, J-Man, and we watched it on the bus. That was the first time we saw the movie. We were like mid-tour.
Oh my God.
And the touring process, they rented out a whole stage for us in Peoria, Illinois, which is the most racist place I've ever been to.
Oh God.
And I've been to a lot of different places, but I've never said anything was racist. Never. I was black, okay?
Oh God.
I was a black man in Peoria, Illinois. I went to the Apple store. We had the dancers with us and stuff, and it was like our free time. And I just wanted to buy a computer,
Yep.
laptop.
Yep.
They would not let me buy a laptop. My homeboy, I had to go outside. I was like, oh, here's my card. One of the dancers, Jameson, still my homie. What's up, Jameson? Had to go in there and buy the laptop for me.
You're joking. This is a
Nah,
white guy,
this
I'm
is-
assuming.
Yeah, he's a white guy. Yeah. So it was great.
That's insane. So I'm assuming, as someone who's not from the US, Illinois is very white and
I
conservative.
don't know. I mean, Chicago is
it?
there. Chicago is not white.
Right.
Chicago- But Peoria, Illinois, what's up? Have me back out, okay? With security, have me back out. I'll come out and say what's up to you guys. But we rented out a whole arena there.
Okay.
And they rented out the hotel, and that's where we rehearsed our tour. So that was another 3-month process, building the stage, building the show out.
Oh my God.
I remember I got into an argument with Rob Brenner. What was his name? I think his name was Rob.
Okay, who's this?
The guy. He was like the tour manager.
Oh God.
And once again, I was talking to my management. I was like, I want to play saxophone on the tour.
Could you play saxophone?
Of course.
Okay.
I play 5 instruments.
Oh, nice. Okay,
I
we
play
love that.
piano, saxophone, bass, drums, guitar, saxophone,
Let's
sing.
go.
And I was like, I want to play saxophone. So I brought my sax.
Yep.
And they did this whole intro to Fire that we didn't keep. But it was like, if you saw the tour, Jordan does Start the Party, J-Man. And then after that, I turn from behind him, and then I appear, then I do Fire.
Oh.
But there was this whole thing, I would come out.
No.
It was like so jazzy. The band was like,
Let's go.
it was like a pocket, and they hated it.
Oh.
They were like, this is too jazzy. It's too musical.
That's cool.
They're like, no one's going to understand what's going on. No saxophone.
He went rogue with it.
I was so mad. I was like, no, my music.
I know.
My music. They're like, bro, you got 5 minutes, okay? You either going to
Sing Fire or get off that stage.
Sing the damn song, get off stage.
Oh.
But that was
Wow.
fun. That was the tour was great.
Yep.
I remember another thing from the tour is Demi was mad at me because I'm saying all the bad stuff.
The tea.
Demi
I know.
would pull me. There was one night. I would often do this, but I would. It's on would end.
Yep.
Me and Demi going back and forth,
Yep.
and I ended up a little bit in front of her on stage.
Uh-oh.
Every night, kind of on purpose. We're going back and forth, It's on, right? So I'm having fun.
But was it on in real life as well?
Well, look.
That's the question.
She pulls me. The security says, "Hey, Demi wants to see you." This is like right after it's on. Clap, 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 clap. Lights go black. Going out, patting my face. I got like 10 minutes before the next song.
Right.
I forget what happened next. And they're like, Demi wants to see you.
Yeah.
I walk back. First of all, she created this maze to get back to her dressing room. The Jonas Brothers, I go to the dressing room. It's like a door.
Okay.
Not a big deal. Demi, she creates this, like, there's candles, there's incense.
Oh, wow.
It's a left turn, it's a curtain, it's a right turn. So I'm like going through the shit.
The
and I'm
smoke.
Like, yeah. And I'm like, she's like standing all the way in the back corner. And I'm like, hey, what's up? She's like, come here. I'm like, I kind of walk up to her. She's like, don't you ever upstage me. Some shit like that. Don't ever upstage me again. Like all in my face. And I'm kind of like, are you serious?
Oh, she was serious.
Like, I didn't know if she was like, I was like trying to catch the vibe. And she was dead. I was like, Demi, you on stage by yourself the whole time. You get a bunch of solo moments. I'm just trying to get my little shot.
Oh.
I was like, I'll never do it again. I did it every show after for sure. But anyway,
stop it.
That was another fun tour.
In real life, I guess there was some like tension. The fact that there was already a cast of Camp Rock and then a few of you came into the picture later for Camp Rock 2.
Yeah.
Was there already kind of like friendships and that dynamic
I
formed?
mean, define tension.
Okay, maybe not tension, but I just want to know, I guess, what it was like in general for you guys coming into a cast that was already so tight and like close knit.
Me and Chloe did do a lot of separate press.
Okay.
They welcomed me in. It was
that's
interesting. Good. The tension didn't come until we, was traveling together.
Okay,
shooting
I can imagine.
The film. We had great times on set.
That's
I don't
good.
think that was where the tension started. It was when we were like out. It's like with family or with relationships with anything. Like once you somebody when you start to travel with them, when you're sharing hotels and space and buses and you know what I mean, A party, B party, C party.
Right.
They start to dancers were C party and crew was C party. We were B party. Demi and the brothers were A party and certain management.
Oh.
So it's like, how your bags get handled and your priority and things like that. That's why it starts to, you're not equal to them.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? They are.
interesting.
And also the other thing I'd say is, I have nothing bad to say about Disney or the brothers. They showed me behind the curtain. You know what I mean? Like being able to travel on a bus.
Yeah.
Have first class hotel accommodations.
Right.
Have fly in between certain places.
Yep.
I mean, that's not how you tour. You don't make money on tour. You're not comfortable on tour.
Right.
And speaking of tour, we got a tour coming out this summer.
Let's go.
Actually, it's like in fall. I'm not going to say too much, but keep your eyes open. FinleyOfficial.com. We got a tour coming. It's going to be really, really special.
That's exciting. Is this just you, the tour that's coming up? I won't ask too much. But
I'm so excited. It's going to be something very, very special.
Yes. Okay. Well,
I will be bringing some friends along with me.
Okay. We'll be keeping our eyes peeled. That is very exciting. Were you already a Disney Channel fan before you made it onto Camp Rock 2, or were you not so much into that world?
Even Stevens, That's So Raven.
Oh, hell yeah.
What's some other like cartoons that was big at Disney?
Proud Family. Yeah.
But Jonas Brothers, nah. Camp Rock, no.
No.
Holes.
Okay, Holes, Shia LaBeouf.
Great film.
Yeah, good one.
But I watched both.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna say the other. Boopalonia, Boopalonia. Now what's up, Nick? We watch both.
Okay.
But I think I lean more towards the other side. It's like Marvel, DC.
Right.
It goes back and forth.
Okay. Until you made it onto the Disney Channel yourself.
Disney Channel, and I'm like, you're watching Disney Channel.
Yeah, right. Oh my God, did you ever get to do the wand?
I did. I don't know where that footage is. Hope you can pull it up, but it's somewhere.
Stop it. That's crazy. That's like the dream.
A lot of Disney Friends for Change.
Nice.
Disney cleanups, Disney songs, Disney meetups.
Okay.
The secret things on the Disney lot.
Yeah.
Where they would literally. I remember the president of Disney said something, and it was like me, Zendaya, it was a bunch of people, Bella Thorne, everyone's in the room.
Yep.
And I was like, when do we get our Disney ears installed? And he's like, because it was like a secret thing that they put these transmitters in us.
Oh,
And,
God.
the transmitter.
That sounds terrifying.
Anyway,
What the hell is that about? I want to know what that transmitter is for.
Well, no, there's they did meetings for us where we got to meet the other cast members and just hang out.
Amazing. It
Yeah.
sounds like an amazing experience. Like
Yeah.
being only 20, 21, so young and going into that world. Was that scary for you? Was it intimidating, or were you quite confident and knew yourself from that point?
I remember going to Berkeley. I was, which is a jazz school.
Yep.
Once again, I would try to blur the lines of hip hop and R&B.
Love that.
And when I would perform, I was like the first person to perform at the Singers Night, which is one of her showcases.
Okay.
And I brought like 20 dancers, and there's like transitions and live band. And,
Wow.
And I didn't really recognize that prior to that. I that's what I was doing too.
Okay.
Live performing, singing, dancing.
Yep.
Then when I moved out to LA, I'm doing the same thing, singing, dancing. Got the audition.
Yep.
The movie is me singing, dancing.
Yep.
The interesting thing about me in that role is it's almost so close to who I am in real life, not like personality wise, but
Right.
the fact that he's a performer and singer and stuff like
Yeah.
that it definitely was a full circle moment for me because it's what I always wanted to do,
I can imagine.
what I
yeah.
always wanted to be portrayed as.
Right.
And I got to do it on Disney.
That's so cool. And there aren't many roles like that on Disney Channel. I feel like you were kind of the Usher or like the MJ of Disney. Even like the whole fire scene was insane. Like the choreography was cool. The music was sick. Your vocals were amazing. Like just as a whole, I think that was a really cool character to portray.
great.
Because
It
there
was
weren't
great.
many like that. It was very corny and cheesy, like especially the first Camp Rock. Love it. Obsessed with it. But also like very different vibe.
Very different.
So
There
I
were
can
some
imagine.
bangers on there though.
Oh, absolutely.
Got what it take, boom, boom.
Oh my God, Lola Scott. I love
Yeah,
that girl.
That one's hard.
goes
Too
off.
cool. I'm talking to my dress. Yeah, the too cool
Oh,
shoulder.
give us the shoulder, please. Come on.
I don't.
Hey.
You know what? I've never done the shoulder. I don't know if men can do the shoulder.
You got the shoulder.
I don't
You
know
can
if Camp
dance.
Star can do the shoulder.
I reckon Camp Star can do anything.
but we doing it. Yeah.
Period.
And it was great to see Megan do that live in action on stage.
I saw
like 2
that.
weeks ago. It was crazy.
That's so cool. Now, that fire scene, so sick, like I was saying, did that take a long time to rehearse? What was that process? If you remember, like, was that months in the making?
I just saw like a clip on Disney Channel that was like me. They were like teasing the movie.
Oh,
and
yeah.
teasing that.
Okay.
And it's a lot of me rehearsing.
Okay.
And it's so I do remember after looking at that clip, by the way, there's like a new Black Mirror episode. The new season's kind of decent.
I'm waiting to watch that. I haven't seen it.
Watch it. There's one episode where they like go into pictures and it like helps you recollect your memory.
Ooh,
And
okay.
then this is kind of what happened. I saw this video
Right.
and I have this hoodie on. I got the beanie. And I'm like got the sweats and I'm dancing. And they
Yeah.
cut to like some of the movie and scenes and then cut
Okay.
to us rehearsing. And we were in Canada. That was the first time I met Demi.
Okay.
I met Demi and her mom and her sister Madison. What's her?
Yeah, I think Madison, the little one.
Yeah.
Yep.
I met them first, and they came into the studio, and we hugged and we talked, and she was very polite. And
Yeah.
then I learned fire, like right after that.
That same day?
She was like on a different section of the studio.
Yep.
But I was kind of working on that. Yeah.
Wow.
there.
So did you learn that choreography first, or did you straight up learn it with the rest of the dancers?
Dancers already knew it. Dancers already knew it. I came in later, and which is how I like it. You know what I
Okay,
mean?
that's cool.
Rosero, the choreographer I mentioned, had worked with me through auditions, and he
Yep.
could tell that I was a pretty advanced dancer. So he was
Okay.
like, "I'm not worried about you."
That's good.
Him and Chuck Maldonado, who did Step Up, and
Wow.
they were able to teach me on the side. And also, if you watch the film and if you know anything about me, I didn't do the choreography. I did whatever I wanted to do.
Yeah.
With a little mix of the choreo.
Okay.
Especially during the hook. Like during
Yeah.
the hook, I'm gonna hit it, but during the verse, I'm kind of walking. I'm kind of doing what I want.
I love that. You spiced it up a bit.
They never really told me what to do.
Okay, that's
was
great.
nice. Yeah, yeah.
It's nice that they kind of let you have your creative freedom as well,
They
because it
did.
sounds like you're the type of person, you know yourself, you know what
did.
you want, and that's important, especially at that age. Like most people are kind of still trying to find themselves and can get lost in what everyone wants them to be, right?
yeah.
I feel like that's a big part of that whole Disney Channel era. A lot of people kind of had to desperately break out of it once they were finished with their films because they were like, ah. But did you feel like you always kind of stayed yourself along the way, or do you feel like it changed you in some ways being so young?
Interesting. Now that I look back at it, I think I stayed true to myself.
I love that.
Because I still perform the song today.
Yeah.
And I still get, a lot of good reception from it.
Yeah.
I actually about a year and a half ago, maybe 2 years ago, I went through this, mental business conversation, internal conversation of do I delete or run away from Matthew Mdot Finley,
Right.
the fire, the Disney stuff, remove it from my Spotify, go a whole different route, maybe
Okay.
make a new Spotify.
Yeah.
And then, I started doing performances around and getting flown out, and the nostalgia really picked up.
Yep.
And to me, that was just a sign to really lean into it.
Yeah.
There have been some folks like Leon Thomas and others who have been able to break out of the Disney curse.
Right.
So I'm hoping to be one of those guys to
Yeah.
make it out of the Disney curse.
That's
But,
fair. Because
yeah.
once you're in it, like people kind of remember you for just that one thing and you want
sure.
to create your own identity outside of that.
Yeah,
I can
come on,
imagine.
y'all. Give me some other pillars out here.
Please.
Come on now.
What is it that you kind of see yourself going into from here? Do you feel like you want to go more into that like R&B world? Like what's your vibe?
Well, Camp Rock 3 on the way.
I need to talk to you about that.
A, B, I see myself doing more tours.
Yep.
Live performance, live band stuff.
Yep.
Funky.
Ooh.
Funky R&B
Funky.
funk.
Okay.
I'm from Ohio.
Okay.
So originally Gap Band, Earth,
Yep.
Wind and Fire, Roger Zapp.
Yep.
I'm into funky stuff.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, you mentioned Camp Rock 3,
Mm.
and I have been seeing, just in the last week, just all of a sudden, it came out, was it the Boardwalk Times or something, released this thing about Camp Rock 3. I have no idea, is this happening, is it not? But do you know anything at all?
Did you see our ET interview?
No?
Our entertainment interview?
Okay, tell me, wait.
Nah, I mean, you could just, there's some things floating around, but we're too cool to tell you right now. That's
Stop it.
what it
So,
is,
what we're saying is they're floating around, but they might be more than rumors.
oh, for sure. I mean, why do you think we're coming together?
Stop. That is crazy, exciting.
It's exciting.
I think, yeah, people in their 20s right now are probably like dying over this because this is such a massive part of our childhood. So let's just, in theory, if there was to be a Camp Rock 3, do you see yourself coming back as like a camp leader? Because I can picture this. I feel like I see you coming over to Camp Rock.
Yeah.
Because I feel like there's the camp star, the Camp Rock. You were the villain, but I feel like now there's going to be this massive turnaround and you're
Yeah.
going to now become like the protagonist or like one of the them and you're
Yeah,
going to
yeah.
be able to lead the future Camp Rockers.
Like protecting them. Yeah.
Protecting them.
For sure.
Because you've come from the other side.
We could see that, them like, yo, we need you, or me being like, yo, let me come in and step in. It could also be like things didn't go well for Luke,
Right.
And he's like, hey guys, can I be can I be a counselor?
Yeah, Papa.
Yeah, my inhaler, like things didn't go so well on the road.
Right.
Got glasses. No,
Oh my God, stop it.
It could be so many things. It definitely bringing in some younger talent as well,
Yeah.
and letting them shine.
I see that.
Having a good time, us being counselors, but
Okay.
once and for all, showing them how it's done. Okay? 'Cause you
Yeah.
can never do it like the counselors
From the
okay?
OGs.
From the OGs.
I
But
love that. So you definitely see yourself going back. If there is a Camp Rock 3, you're open to it.
listen, there's all sorts of scripts and storylines that can be possible. So yeah, we're open to it.
Okay, that's exciting. Oh my God, well, we're all crossing our fingers that this does happen and eventuate. You have just done Jonas Con. For people who don't know much about Jonas Con, what was the vibe? What was it about? I know there were Q&As and
It
panels.
was the first of its kind, you guys.
Yeah.
Jonas Con was at the American Dream in New Jersey, which
Okay.
is one of the largest malls. They have an indoor water park.
Okay.
They got an indoor wave pool. They got a skating rink, like an ice skating rink.
Oh, okay.
They got a basketball court. I mean, this place is huge.
Okay.
But to say the least, the Jonas Brothers rented the entire mall.
Wow.
So every store was Jonas themed. Pizza was Jonas themed.
Stop
Joe's
it.
Pizza, Jonas Pizza.
Crazy.
They had the Sprint Verizon store open, and it was still Jonas stuff in there.
Oh my God.
They had the water park. Nick Jonas is performing at the water park. Frankie Jonas is performing in the main stage on the ice skating rink. Then the whole brothers come together with the Camp Rock cast is interviewing. Then the brothers and us, we talk and we vibing.
That's so cool.
It was like I'm skating around the mall. I brought my roller skates. You know what I mean?
I saw that. What was the roller skates
I meant
about?
to bring my roller skates in here and like put them somewhere.
Dang it.
I just, that's my new hobby.
I love that.
It's so random. I started skating about 6 months ago.
Yeah. You seemed good
I don't
at
know
it.
how I got so good.
6 months only. You seemed
6
so
months.
confident skating around the stage. I was like, I would be scared of falling in front of all these people.
The stage had mic cords on it, and it was a
Right.
little wild.
I love that for you. That's a cool
I love
hobby.
it. No, it's like a great hobby. But yeah, skating is my new thing.
Okay.
I don't want to say I got it from Usher, but I do recognize that Usher was one of the first people that kind of brought it in. Back to fire,
Right.
I busted my chin open
Did you?
doing that backflip.
No stunt doubles here.
No stunt
Okay.
doubles. There was a comment, Paul Hohen, our director, posted something, Corbin Blue, jump in.
Love that man.
And someone was like, yeah, there was a stunt double because it didn't look like Corbin. And I'm like, no stunt doubles from Camp Rock.
Wow.
It was all us.
All you. That's really cool. Obviously, you said you busted your chin open, which is
Yeah, I had a white T-shirt on,
Crazy.
if you remember. And during that part of the film, I had taken my jacket off.
yeah.
And then I do a little dance break, and then I do the backflip.
Yeah.
So the first take, we're in Canada. It's freezing cold, by the
I
way.
heard that.
We're not filming this in the summer.
Right.
You can probably see the smoke coming out of our mouth.
Yeah.
And they had me, it's like this big circle right here. It was a mirror.
Oh,
It looked cool, but they had me
True.
dancing on a mirror.
that's crazy. Very trippy, right? Like, how did you know what
How
was...
am I not a millionaire right now? Multi-millionaire.
You should be after that scene.
Billionaire.
Damn.
Come on.
My God.
But,
Come on, Disney.
yeah, I did a backflip, and then I think I landed like, they said I looked like I did the worm. So I landed it, and I think maybe I went forward. So blam, and then
God.
it was very wet.
Okay.
And I had boots on. So no
Right.
traction. Land, and then I guess it went chin first, and like the worm, you know what I mean?
Yep. Oh
And
my
I just keep
God.
going. And I see people, because they have a live audience. They
Yeah.
allowed some of the fans and people to be there, and
Yep.
kind of like an extra.
Oh.
But it was full of people.
They had fans there?
Oh, for sure.
That's crazy.
They're freezing cold, but they're loving it.
Okay, so the people in the crowd weren't just like extras. These
No,
were,
no, no.
they
These
actually
are,
got
like,
fans
real
on
people
board.
from Toronto that come to wait outside, and they let certain people mount in.
Okay.
Because everyone's there. Jonas Brothers were there performing.
right.
They have to sign NDAs because they're hearing music and singing performances that hadn't even been released.
Right.
And I'm dancing, and they're like, and I'm like, I'm killing this.
Let's
and they're like,
go.
I'm like, what's going on? And I'm like, oh shit, it's blood.
No, you didn't even feel it? Like, did you not? I guess you were in the moment, the
I
adrenaline.
mean, I know I hit my chin, but I mean,
yeah. You didn't think it was like that bad?
I think I busted it open,
Oh,
needed
God.
stitches, and got to use Canada's free healthcare. I didn't think it would be like
Shut
that.
up.
Yeah, with my
Damn.
managers in the hospital the night of. But before that, blood, white shirt, white t-shirt.
No.
They pull me off. Come back.
Oh, shit.
Oh shit. So they pull a Band-Aid, one of those big Band-Aids.
Yeah, yeah.
Band-Aid, and then they put makeup over it. So if you look at the movie, and then they remove the glass. They remove
Yeah.
the glass.
Okay.
So I do it again. So if you look at the film, that's the one there's no glass. And that's
Okay.
not my chin. It's like a Band-Aid and a bunch of makeup.
In the
around.
movie?
Yeah, you can still see the line right there.
Oh.
But it's like a Band-Aid and a bunch of makeup under it and around it. And then every
That's
take,
crazy. Yep.
it's blood seeping through. New white shirt,
No.
and then kind of blood seeping through the makeup, and it's just blood. It's just the next take, new T-shirt,
You're
new Band-Aid.
joking.
They're back in the back. All right, do it again. I did it like 3 or 4 times. I think we only did it like 3 times.
Dude, that's a horror movie scene
Because
right
it was
there.
the first time, and then I think they got a lot of it from that first take, and then
Wow.
the fall, and
Yep.
then it was like 3 more times after
my
because they needed the backflip.
Okay.
So anything after with no jacket is me with a fake chin and
Wow.
there's blood everywhere. Just
Oh my God, that's brutal. They made you work. They were
they
like,
didn't make me do it. I wanted to. I mean,
Okay,
I'm sure they allowed me. I don't remember, but I'm sure they were like, "Do you want to?"
like, "It's
But I'm
okay."
like, "Yo, come on, the lights are hot. I know this routine. Let's go.
Keep going, keep going.
What can we do? Well, we can.
Oh my God.
Band-Aid, makeup, new T-shirt. How many T-shirts we got? We got
Right.
packs. Cool. Give me another one.
Let's go.
Let's go.
And again, take 2, take
Yeah,
3.
It was like that.
Wow.
I knew. I will say that shooting that film, I knew those were moments. I knew I was creating moments. I
Yeah.
was like, it's hot. Dancers are here. Lights are here. This is.
That's
nah,
true.
Let's go.
There's so many people's time you have to consider in the room as well.
Let's
There's
go.
the
I knew it
cast,
was
there's
a
the
moment.
crew,
Yeah.
the
Maybe
audience.
they cut the scene.
Wow. Okay.
If I go to the hospital.
Yeah. Oh my
Maybe it's
God.
shorter.
That's true.
Who knows?
And then It's On was your other like big number.
That
I
was
love
huge.
that
we
one.
We're up in the stands performing. We're
my
on the
God.
stage performing. We're
Yeah.
doing the Camp Rock. That whole thing. That
Right.
was the start of it.
Yeah.
So all of that. I mean, I remember obviously different days and different times, but
Yep.
seeing them, patch that together is really cool.
At the time, did you ever foresee that Camp Rock being a meme?
I mean, we were all laughing.
Oh, you were?
Like, me and the other dancers, like, yo, you guys are joking with that. Like, that is some step up. Like, I don't even know if step up was big, but crumping was big.
Right.
And Chuck Maldonado was pretty much the usher of that. Like, he did the
Okay.
choreo because he's a stepper.
I was
He
going to
does,
say.
now even he's called for any step or any sort of college thing. So
Right.
that was his quick little, we need something for them to walk in. And then Rogero
Oh.
was the lead choreographer and Chuck was like the assistant.
Yeah.
So he was like, Chuck, you do that.
Oh.
And Chuck was like, what's something simple
Yep.
that Demi can do, that all these kids could do,
Yep.
and that's cool.
It was the Camp Rock. The
Camp
step.
Rock.
It was very stepping. Like, I didn't really think of it that way at the time. I think I just thought it as like this
It was
funny
very
little
stroll.
cheesy.
It was very stroll step.
Yeah. It's just funny how viral that's become of a meme now.
It's wild.
It's
I've seen
everywhere.
so many, like the Avengers one. And
Oh my
it's like me
God.
and Megan, and then it's like Thanos, and it's like Camp Rock. And
That's
I've
crazy.
seen some really, really good memes.
Wow. Okay. Do you ever watch the film back now?
Nah, I don't have to because the memes. I just watch it in pieces with the memes.
You probably just can't stop seeing it everywhere. It's just like constantly presenting itself to you.
It's been a while since I know it's streaming and all that stuff. But I don't really sit and watch the movie.
So now I'm going to jump around a bit, but going back to Jonas Con,
Yes.
what was that like reconnecting with the cast again? Because obviously it's been a while since you had seen most of them. And the
Yeah.
Jonas Brothers. Did they invite you? Did their team reach out for Jonas?
The Jonas Brothers reached out to me directly.
Oh, nice.
Which was good.
That's sweet of them, yeah.
It's always random when you get that call or that text.
Yeah.
I keep in touch with Joe the most,
Okay.
but yeah, when all three of them reached out, it was like, oh, okay. It made all of us, me and Anna Maria and Megan, we all talked about that. We felt good
Aw.
that they reached out to us, and
Yeah.
I'm sure that they reached out to some others, but maybe the schedule didn't work. But,
Right.
it was great. We were happy to be there, and yeah,
Aw.
they reached out to me directly.
That's really nice. Was that like an email or they DM you guys?
Nah, it was a DM, it was a text.
Oh,
yeah.
cute. Okay, that's really cool. It's nice. Was it cool seeing like the fam reunited again? Or was it weird? What was the vibe?
I didn't really know what it was gonna be like.
Yeah.
We had got there the day before, and New York in itself is a great energy. New York, New Jersey.
Yep.
So being there was great. I mean, the moment in front of everybody, when we are on the side of the stage and we embrace and stuff like that, that was a really special moment because the cameras got to see it and just kind of, for me, just see like what kind of guys they are, because they
Yeah.
are very busy.
I bet.
Nick is on Broadway, Joe is dropping an album, Kevin is on TV, Frankie's
Right.
on TV. But they're really just hungry and they inspire me to want to work. You know what I mean? That's talking to them backstage about what they got next, the ideas that they have.
Yeah.
That's what it was. It was a lot of
Yeah.
idea exchanging, a lot of energy exchanging,
Right.
a lot of work on the way.
That's
They
really
have a
good.
lot of stuff on the way.
Amazing. And they've got a Christmas movie coming to Disney
Christmas movie
Plus.
coming to Disney Plus.
End of the year. So you guys chatted about Camp Rock 3, right? At the
We
event?
did. We
you
did.
Okay.
Yeah.
So are they open to it as well?
Of course.
Okay, everyone's into it. I like that because I feel like a lot of the time everyone kind of just tries so hard to distance themselves. But we love a reunion. I think if it's done right,
Yeah.
and if you bring the OG cast back,
Yeah.
or as a fan, I think it's amazing. Like it's
gotta
such
make
a cool.
sense,
It does.
But yes.
It's dangerous territory because I was looking online and people were pretty like stressed about Camp Rock 3. They're like, no, don't ruin a good thing. And I get it, but I'm like, come on. I feel like it's time. It's been
Yeah.
15 years since Camp Rock 2. Like,
Yeah, who knows what it's going to look like, but that's what's beautiful about it.
Exactly. No, it's awesome. And now you've obviously got your own stuff going on. There's the whole Camp Rock world, but you're doing you as well.
Yeah.
So what's coming up for you? I know you've got the tour you
We've
mentioned.
got live performances, so
Nice.
get ready to come out and see us. We'll probably be going out a little bit before the Jonas tour, and then
Yep.
definitely after the Jonas tour. Look out for me on the Jonas tour, possibly.
Oh,
And definitely working on a new single that's very, very special to me.
okay.
I don't know if I should. It's called Chocolate and Wine.
Oh,
Yeah, it's
giving romance.
It's in the work. Yeah, it's a special record.
okay.
I've had it for a while, working on it, but look out for that record. And there's a collaboration on it that is just the dream collab. I can't say,
Oh.
but it's like my dream collaboration.
Stop.
I mean, it's like It's out of here.
Is it?
It's out of here.
Stop it. Okay, we love a collaboration. Okay, now before we end our interview, I want to do a quick rapid fire round
love it.
of just like fun, random questions. So here we go.
Here we go.
Who broke character the most on set? If you
Joe.
remember. Joe. Who was like the class clown?
Joe.
Oh, Joe.
And Rashawn.
Damn, okay. If you could play any other character in the movie, who would it be?
Mitchie.
Ooh.
Which I've done with Charles Brockman.
With Charles, I did see that. I love him. I saw him at Coachella and I was like, I love your
Oh,
videos.
yeah, he's great.
He's cool. If you could be in any other Disney Channel original film, what would it be?
Camp Rock 3.
Hell yeah. How about another Disney Channel original film that already exists?
Let It Shine.
That's so you.
They missed it. Yeah.
They really did. When was the last time you performed Fire?
At JonasCon.
Who do you think really deserved to win the final jam?
Camp Star all day.
Period. Come on, Camp Star. One Disney Channel character that you think would slay in Camp Star. This could be anyone from any show. Who would you
Other
add?
than Mickey Mouse himself. Other than the man.
Oh, Mickey Mouse.
And Goofy. Because, Goofy.
He could move.
Cleo Thomas and all them with that. Can we say Marvel? Does that count? Can I be Iron Man?
You can be Iron Man if you want to.
Disney then got him. I'll be Iron Man.
Okay. I was thinking how about a Raven? Like a Raven Simone in
Ooh,
Camp Star?
wow.
Do you see that?
Wow. Iron Man and Camp Star, yes. Raven Simone and Camp Star, absolutely.
Okay, I think you're going to say absolutely not.
Yeah, nah.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Raven Simone would slay in Camp Star.
Let's go.
Yes.
How about one Camp Rock song that you still catch yourself singing? Do you ever catch yourself singing Camp Rock songs?
I sing Wouldn't Change a Thing all the time.
Fire and rain.
Fire and rain. Yeah.
Oh,
You know what I
banger.
mean?
Who is the biggest diva on set? You can't say yourself.
Other than me, it was Demi.
Now, your Camp Rock outfits, do you think they're iconic or would you change them looking back now?
I think they're actually kind of fresh. Like the one for It's On looks like a nice golf outfit. Tear it down. I like the plaid pants. The hat was fire. The plaid on top. And you can't go wrong with the leather.
Yeah.
I would take away the studs, and everything. That kind of makes it a little bit more time of 2000 and whatever.
Right.
But yeah, you can't go wrong with the leather.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for being on this episode of Oh Snap. It was so good having you. Guys, definitely check him out. What are your socials if people want to check you out now?
FinleyOfficial.com, @4Finley on TikTok, @4Finley on Instagram.
Thank you so much for joining and being my first guest. Thank you for watching this episode, and I'll catch you all soon. Bye.
Oh, snap.
Oh, snap.